Welcome back, everyone, to Global War 1914, Operation Albatross. This is the fall-winter of 1917 for France. And for our purchases, we're going to spend $2 and purchase a trench fighter, $10 for 2 tanks. We're going to cash and carry an artillery for 4, $4 for naval infantry, camel for $4. We're going to upgrade a militia that's in Madrid to an infantry. Then we're going to purchase 3 infantry for $9. All right, for technology, we have 2 tech rolls. We're going to go for hurricane bombardment, try to finish that off, as well as strategic bombers. And both will be at a 7 or higher. All right, strat bombers will be in the black and hurricane bombardment in the green. And we hit on strat bombers, but not hurricane bombardment. All right. I'm going to look and see how much a strategic bomber is. $7. I'm wondering if I want to adjust my purchases or not. No, I don't think so. Not this turn. I'll wait till next turn to buy a strategic bomber. All right, combat moves. We got 2 pretty big ones here. We are going to load up a naval infantry and an infantry onto this naval transport and send them all across the Med Sea into Syria. And likewise, we're going to take another naval transport, load him up with a Zouave and a camel. We might need... does Zouave count as an infantry class? Can we do that? Or does it have to be an infantry? I don't think... Now that I think about it, I think it has to be an infantry class unit. In that case, we'll just load the camel up with... Well, there's no point in doing a colonial. Well, we'll load the camel up with a colonial. The colonial will at least be able to... Well, no, because the colonial is going to be at a... He's going to attack at a 0 because it's desert terrain. We'll just bring the camel over, and he'll go 1-2 and join the amphibious assault into Syria. And we're also going to take the cruiser off of escort duty, and he'll join 1, 2, 3 and do amphibious assault. So I'm going to go ahead and take him off escort duty, put him there. And that will be that first attack. We're going to try our luck here and send an infantry from Nigeria into Cameroon. See if we can't get lucky on the first round, the one and only round that we get here in the fall-winter. And then we're going to launch everything we have in Lorraine and try to do as much damage as possible into Bavaria. And that I've already got set up on the board, so we'll just we'll roll for Cameroon first. So we have an infantry that's going to be at a 2, and he's got a colonial that's also going to be at a 2. And we both miss. So no harm, no foul there. All right, let's do the amphibious assault. Okay, and I'm going to look real quick and see it in the rule book if I can find, if we can bring along that Zouave. It's probably going to be under the combat moves section. It might be under the unit reference sheet too. Let me check there. Yeah, it says specifically 1 infantry class unit plus 1 other land/air class unit. So, yeah, I mean, even though Zouave is an infantry unit, it's technically not listed. It's listed under elite units, not infantry class. So, I don't think we're going to be able to. All right. So that means that we will have 1 infantry and 1 naval infantry, both at a 1. Both miss, because we're in the desert. The camel, however, is not subject to desert terrain, so he will be at a 3. And he hits. All right, nice. And then he has an infantry at a 4. And he hits. Oh, man. All right, so here's the deal. We can, because here's the dilemma. The naval infantry does not suffer double casualty. So, and he was loaded up with the infantry, and the camel came by himself. So, either way, we only lose 1 unit. So I think we're going to lose the naval infantry because he defends. Does he defend at a 4? Yeah, he does defend at a 4. Man, so it might be more cost effective to lose the infantry. Yeah, we're going to lose the infantry. Okay. But I'm wondering, I don't know, I think we have to lose the naval infantry because I still think we would suffer double casualties. It would be the camel and the infantry. Even though they came on separate naval transports, they would still suffer double casualty. So, yeah, I'm going to lose the naval infantry. Just out of precaution of the rule. Because I don't know if it's double casualty, like if that can be spread across multiple transports or if it's only applies to 1 transport. I would assume that it applies to multiple transports. Like let's say you bring in 1 infantry on 1 transport and another infantry on another transport and the defender hits, you would still lose both infantry, I would assume, because the double casualty penalty is still in effect, regardless of how many transports you bring in. So we're going to roll with that logic. All right, so we do take Syria, and that is worth 1 IPP. So we move up to 25. The Ottomans will move down to 11. Man, I forgot to roll for my cruiser. Let's see if he happens to get a hit. He does! Oh my goodness. All right, so the cruiser hits and we get our naval infantry back. All right, well. Lucky French. I tell you something, that's crazy. All right, so we end up not suffering any casualties, and the Ottoman infantry doesn't even get to fire back because of that. So, all right. Now we can conduct the battle in Bavaria, and here is how the battle board sets up. We have 2 trench fighters, first strike target select at a 1. We've got oh my goodness, 10, 11, 12, 13 infantry at a 1, because we do have a river crossing penalty that we have to account for. We've got 7 artillery at a 4 first strike, and pairing with the artillery will be 7 infantry at a 2. We have a Zouave who does suffer from the river crossing. The only terrain that he doesn't suffer from is the mountains. So he's going to be at a 2. 2 tanks at a 3, and then 2 fighters at a 3, and they will be doing air superiority. And they'll be doing that against a German fighter at a 3 and a balloon that will be paired with an artillery and boosting him for observation at a 5. Of course, the balloon can't defend against fighters, so he's not going to get to roll, unfortunately, but he will be subject to the air superiority. Germany also has 4 artillery at a 4, 3 Jaegers at a 5. Of course, we have our first strike fortification, 2 rolls for that. And then he has, let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 infantry entrenched at a 6. So I suspect we're going to take a lot of casualties, but let's see if we can inflict as much damage as possible here. Because, you know, once the Americans join in, we've already got the British. So it's basically about to be 3v1. And let's hope that we can just make this a little easier when the Americans show up, which I'm hoping is going to be this turn. If not, definitely it's going to be the next turn. So, all right. First strikes. Or let's do air superiority first. So 2 of our fighters at a 3 versus his fighter at a 3. Oh, man. And he gets a hit. Oh, no. All right, so we lose a fighter. Okay. And we have 2 trench fighters at a 1, first strike. Ooh, nice. And we get a target select. Yeah. Okay. We're definitely going to target select an infantry. We have 5, 6, 7 artillery at a 4. Oh, nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Fantastic. All right. Oh, wait, that's a 5. That's not a hit. We only have 4 hits. Okay. And now Germany gets to do their first strikes. We have 2 fortifications at a 5. 1 hit. He's got 4 artillery at a 4. No hits. And then he's got 1 artillery at a 5. And wow, that's a miss as well. Okay. So Germany will lose an infantry for sure because of the target select. So that puts them down to 13. Yep, 13. And they have to lose 4 more. I think they're going to go for... Oh, man. We'll go for 2 artillery and 2 infantry. So that will leave us with 3 artillery total. Okay. Now we can move on to the infantry. Let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13 infantry at a 1. So we'll split it up 6 and 7. So here's the first 6. Oh yeah, France loses 1 as well. We're going to lose an infantry. I forgot to account for that German first strike. Okay, so we actually have 12 instead of 13. So we'll do 6 and 6. And we get a hit. And here are the final 6. Another hit. We also have 5, 6, 7, 8 at a 2. No hits. 2 tanks. 2 tanks at a 3. And there's another hit. So 3 hits total. And now the Germans get to defend. Three Jaegers at a 5. Wow, all misses. Man. And 11 infantry at a 6. And we'll do 6 and 5 for this. Here's the first 6. Only 2 hits. Wow. That's crazy. And then here's the final 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's a little better. All right, so total, Germany gets a total of 5 hits. France gets a total of 3. Oh, let's see. I think Germany, we kind of need infantry more because they contribute to the trench line. I think I'm going to lose all 3 of my Jaegers because they're not even defending in the mountains. I just think infantry are more valuable at this stage in the game. So yeah, I'm going to lose the 3 Jaegers. And France is going to lose we have a lot of infantry that we can lose. So we're just going to lose 5 infantry. All in all, that's not too bad, actually. It could have been a lot worse for France. Okay, I'm going to get these guys back on the board here. Bring the camera over. And we will do some non-combat moves after this is all sorted out. All right, so Germany is left with 11 infantry and 3 artillery. An observation balloon, and a balloon and a fighter. Germany does have that mustard gas in Bavaria, but that can only be used on the offensive. All right, and France is left with 2 trench fighters, 14 infantry, a Zouave, 7 artillery, 2 tanks, and a fighter. And for non-combat moves, we're gonna rail an artillery from Normandy into Picardy. So that will give us That will give us 8 artillery in Picardy now. We're going to take a trench fighter from Paris into Picardy. So now we have 3 trench fighters. And 2 infantry from Paris will go into Picardy as well. So that will bring the total infantry up to 16. All right, now we can place some units. Cash and carry our artillery will go into Washington, D.C. 2 tanks will go into Paris. We're going to place a trench fighter into Lorraine, and that will consume our manpower slot. So we have 4 trench fighters in Lorraine. Naval infantry will go into southern France. Camel will go into Tunisia. We have our militia upgrade that goes in Madrid. And 3 infantry. We're going to place 1 into southern France and 2 into Paris. Okay, let's collect some income. We are currently sitting at 25. And let's roll and see what kind of bonus we get. Now we did take Syria, and that's a new enemy territory to be taken, so we get a free diplomacy roll next turn as long as we hold on to it. As long as the Ottomans don't take it back on their turn, coming up next. Let's see how much extra income we get. 9, all right. So that will put us up to 34. And we will have 34 bucks in the bank for next turn. And that will do it for France. Next up will be the Ottomans. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, take care. Bye for now.